Good morning, all. I, Chair Thomas Kyle, call the hybrid electrical and elevator board meeting of September 22nd, 2022 to order at 9:30 a.m. A couple of things I wanted to mention. The microphones, if anybody is board members or anybody on the table who wants to speak, need to press the button to activate it. The light will get brighter. Also, because we have so many people that are on screen or virtual, if you can raise your hand or even just speak out if you want to make a motion or have a comment. And Debbie, would you help if you see it and I don't see it to announce it for me? Would you please give the roll call?
Yes, sir. Chairman Thomas Kyle.
Here.
Who is present in the room. Also present in the room is Vice Chair John Flagle.
Here.
William Barlow.
Here.
Is connected virtually, and all the rest of the members should be connected virtually. Amy Byer.
Here.
Thank you. Elizabeth Bunga.
Here.
Sara Currie.
Here.
Robert McNeill. Rob McNeill. Ryan Richards.
Here.
Richard Rudder.
Here.
Al Shecker.
Here.
And Randy Smith is excused. Mr. Chairman, we do have a quorum.
Okay, item I.C, the agenda. Is there any changes to the agenda from any of the board members? Hearing none, as chair, I rule the agenda and order of business approved. Item I.D, approval of draft minutes. Chair Kyle ruled that the draft minutes of July 28th, 2022 are final. Item I.E, date of the next meeting is November 17th, 2022. Item 2, public comment. Andy, do you have anybody signed up?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Andy Bolton, Senior Policy Advisor with the division. We've not received any requests for general public comment this morning. We are going to hold the line open for just a moment here in case there is anyone join the meeting either in the room or on the call that would like to provide general public comment. If you're in the room and would like to provide comment, feel free to just come on up to the table there. And if you are online and would like to provide comment, please use the raise hand feature. Okay, seeing none, Chair, that concludes general public comment.
Okay, item 3A, 8 proposed consent orders. Okay, on the enforcement board report, Michael.
Morning, Chair and members of the board. For the record, my name is Michael Mayorga Hamilton. I am a contested case representative for the division. Before the board is a summary of the consent orders recently negotiated by the division on behalf of the board. We have entered into consent agreements in 8 cases since our last board meeting. All settlements, including the amount owed and suspended civil penalties, fall within the guidelines on the matrix, and they contain the standard conditions. The first case on the agenda is C-2020-6 in the matter of Prostat Services, LLC. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for failing to assure all electrical work was made by or under the direction, supervision, or control of a continuously employed full-time signing supervising electrician acting within the scope of his or her license. Respondent has agreed to pay $1,000 with the remaining $1,000 suspended. Additionally, the respondent has agreed that its electrical contractor's license shall be conditioned as follows. Respondent shall provide the division with 4 quarterly reports for 1 year. The quarterly reports shall include a list of all jobs worked on during the quarter, each customer's name and address, a list of the employees working on each job, copies of invoices from each job, and copies of all permits issued for each job. And this applies to jobs over $1,000. The second case on the agenda is C 2021-153 in the matter of Leonid Koryakolov. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for installing electrical wiring to panels without a license. Respondent has agreed to pay the penalty of $250 with the remaining $1,750 suspended. The third case on the agenda is in the matter of Insan's Interior Remodeling LLC. The respondent was assessed a penalty of $5,000 for contracting to install boxes and conductors without an electrical contractor's license and allowing unlicensed electrical work. Respondent has agreed to pay a penalty of $500 with the remaining $4,500 suspended. The fourth case on the agenda related to the previous case is in the matter of Ihsan Hassani. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $3,000 for installing electrical boxes and conductors without an electrical contractor's license and permit, or without a supervising or journeyman's electrician's license and permit. Respondent has agreed to pay $500 with the remaining $2,500 suspended. The fifth case on the agenda is C 2021-214 in the matter of Ina Shin. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $5,000 for allowing unlicensed work as a signing supervisor and procuring and assisting in the performance of unlicensed electrical installations. Respondent has agreed to pay a penalty of $1,000 with the remaining $4,000 suspended for a period of 2 years. The sixth case on the agenda, C 2021-215, in the matter of Vital Construction and Electric LLC. A respondent was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for allowing unlicensed worker to perform electrical installations. The respondent has agreed to pay a penalty of $500 with the remaining $1,500 suspended. The seventh case on the agenda is C 2021-190 in the matter of Louis Luna. The respondent was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for performing electrical installations without a license. Respondent has agreed to pay a penalty of $250 with $1,750 suspended. The eighth and final case on the agenda is C 2022-17 in the matter of Jeffrey Sprague. Respondent was assessed a penalty of $6,000 for performing electrical installations without the appropriate supervising or journeyman license, without an electrical contractor's license, and without a permit. Respondent has agreed to pay a penalty of $750 with $5,250 suspended. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Okay. Do board members have any questions? This requires a motion to accept the consent orders or adopt the consent orders.
Through the chair. Motion to adopt the 8 cases proposed for resolution as outlined in the Enforcement Board report and issue final orders.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Okay. Debbie, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. William Barlow.
Aye.
Amy Byer.
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga.
Aye.
Sara Currie.
Aye.
And is Rob McNeill connected?
Aye.
Thank you, Rob. Ryan Richards.
Aye.
Richard Rudder.
Aye.
Al Shucker.
Aye.
Vice Chair John Flagle.
Aye.
And Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes unanimously.
And Michael, if I can get some clarification on these case numbers that you've put out, like the highest one I see is C 2021-215.
Yes.
Does that mean there have been 215 case orders prior to that, or cases that you investigated?
That indicates the number in which they were opened this year. So there could be more cases than that. I'm not sure on the exact number of cases that have been opened this year, but that indicates the order in which they've been opened.
Okay. Well, I know that we haven't seen 215 cases before the board. Is that, how are the rest of them settled or investigated, no action?
Yeah, they can be resolved in a variety of ways. Some of them may still be under investigation. Others may be resolved with a warning letter. There could be requests for hearing. So it could be going to a default, which takes some time to process.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Item III.B, for enforcement, summary of 4 enforcement cases resolved by the division.
So the first default on the agenda is case C 2020-111, which is in the matter of Flip It Right Construction. Respondent in this matter was assessed a penalty of $6,000 for contracting to perform electrical installations without an electrical contractor's license, allowing an unlicensed person to perform electrical work, and for failing to have an electrical permit. The second case on the agenda is case C 2021-30 in the matter of lighting electric. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for allowing an unlicensed person to perform electrical installations. The third default on the agenda is C 2021-102 in the matter of Konstantin Lobischak. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for allowing an unlicensed person to perform electrical installations. And the fourth and final default on the agenda is C 2021-103 in the matter of Andrei Lobischak. The respondent was assessed a penalty of $3,000 for assenting or failing to prevent an individual from performing electrical work for which the employee was not properly licensed to perform.
And the penalty for that one?
$3,000.
Thank you. Apparently there's no board action required on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item III.C, electrical program update. Keith Anderson.
Good morning. Through the chair, Keith Anderson, electrical program chief. Turn my mic on. All right. Good morning. Keith Anderson, electrical program chief. For the update, I have a few things today. So the Oregon Electrical Specialty Code is starting, the adoption is starting the process. As of yesterday, there was an announcement put out for code proposals. So that will run, it's anticipated 45 days. It may have some extensions that some of the, just to speak briefly on the process this time, we've had some challenges with documents being available. Codes are coming out a little bit later dates than what they have in the past. So some of the timing is kind of, it's to be determined as we're going along through the process. The big picture on the process is that we're going to go through code from cover to cover and address all the new items that have been entered into the code book. So this has been the process in the past, and we plan on continuing that. So we haven't, I don't believe that at this time there's been a start date, but again, if you sign up online, get signed up for messages through the division here, it'll keep you updated on what's going on and the process, the dates, the times. As far as the code itself, it was published in the NFPA on their website. It's to be available October 3rd was the date that was available there for us. So again, trying to do this in a timely manner and get it out by October 1. There are some time challenges that we faced this time due to, COVID circumstances and things that everybody's had to address. So I believe it's very doable, but again, it's going to be something that, kind of as we go to determine how everything's going to fall together. But I anticipate a quality product when we're through, just like we have done in the past. So, any questions on the...
Okay, any questions from the board members?
Great. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Item 4.
I have a couple more things, Tom.
Oh, well, sorry.
Sure, that's fine.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Back on my page here. So the CE can be, since we've gone out for proposals and we've adopted what model, the board's decided what model code that we are going to use, they can, CE can be put in for the model code now at this time. So those that are providing code update can get those applications in for approval. And then I also wanted to introduce Damon Jensen. He has accepted the position for the assistant chief. Sean Cole is going to be with us for approximately another 30 days and helping to get things up to speed. But if Damon, if you want to come up and just introduce yourself.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Damon Jensen. I was interned in the program in 1994. I was various employed through different contractors in different fields. For the last 10 years before I came to work at Building Codes, I was a private contractor, and I'm coming up on my second year as an inspector, and now coming towards the assistant chief position to learn under Keith.
Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Damon.
And that's what I have, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Okay, very good. Item 4, board selection for the Oregon Electrical Specialty Code Review Committee. I've presented a letter that's gone out to the board members. The letter is the selections that I've made. We had 20 people apply to be on this committee. I've picked out 13 of them. I guess my selection process was if it was current board members, and then past board members, anybody that had served on an NFPA code panel, and then persons that had served on the Specialty Code Review Committee in the past, and then contractors, inspectors, and instructors or trainers. And in that case, I've selected Ryan Richards as a board member, Randy Smith as a board member, Nathan Phillips, I've suggested that he be chair. He's a contractor, a past board chair, and now on NFPA code panels. Mike Weaver is a contractor, past chair of this board and on NFPA code panels. Stephen Shepard, he's a contractor and a prior member of the code panel. John Colmore, contractor and prior panel member. Gary Bloom is a contractor and prior NFPA membership. Brian Chris and the inspector, prior code review committee. Russell Robertson, inspector, prior code committee. James Alexander, inspector, prior code committee. Joan Goshi, inspector and prior code committee. And then John McCamish as instructor in a prior code committee and NFPA code panel. And then a new panel that Frank Sonnabend, and Frank Sonnabend I'm familiar with him. He's worked for my company, and he's an inspector now for the city of Corvallis, I believe. And that was my recommendations for the committee. We're hoping that, I guess, anyone can participate in this, and the comments will be taken. The only difference is that the 13 will have the vote, but I'm sure that the comments, anybody that wants to join the committee can be recognized and accepted. Keith, would you like to say something about how the process works?
So, again, it's more big picture right now. You know, with not all the dates and times, I'm assuming that it's going to be a hybrid meeting, although that will be, again, confirmed, and we will send that out as a notification through the state process. So be sure to sign up so you get those notifications, and you know, you can have the latest information. We generally will have on the particular meeting, the information will go out on what we're going to be covering, which particular sections we'll go over. The room is open. We welcome people to come in and comment, you know, on the different items that come up. This is, I believe, my 6th one that I've been part of, and it's a great process to be involved in, and the people are good to work with. There's a lot of information. There's, you know, hundreds of years of knowledge here gathered together. So it's a very good process. So I'm looking forward to it this time to get the 2023 together and out by October 1st.
Okay, thank you. Nathan, would you like to make any comments if you're going to be a chair? All right, thank you. Okay, there's item 5.
Mr. Chair.
Excuse me. I was supposed to call on you, that's right.
Oh, no, that's fine. You did a great job without me. I did just want to make sure we circle back and hit elevator program update.
Oh.
Item III.D.
Okay, item must be 3D, elevator program update. Is Warren Harding on?
Mr. Chair, he is out in the field as well, and he has not unmuted himself yet.
Okay.
I'm trying. Can you hear me yet?
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, very good.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Warren.
Oh, can you hear me now? Good. Thank you. Struggling with that. I apologize for not being there today. I'm working remote today. You have my board package in front of you, the 2 pieces of information. Outside of that, I'm ongoing training with new inspector, and we'll be doing interviews the next coming month for hiring yet another inspector to replace one that is retiring. And that kind of fulfills my agenda in the next few weeks. And I'm open to answer any questions.
Are there any questions from the board members? Okay, well, thank you, Warren.
Thank you. Again, I apologize for not being there.
Okay, item 5, there's no appeals. Item 6, no unfinished business. Item VII.A, board review and approve committee recommendations for new continuing ed courses and instructor applications. Andy?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Andy Bolton, Senior Policy Advisor with the Division. In August, the CE Committee reviewed 21 applications from 7 organizations. 9 courses were recommended for approval and 5 courses were not recommended for approval. 4 instructors were recommended for approval and 3 instructors were not recommended for approval. The applications are detailed in the matrix included in your board packet, along with a memo accompanying the matrix, and this item will require a motion from the board.
Through the chair, motion to approve the committee recommendations for approval of courses and or instructors.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Amy Byer,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
and Sara Currie has left the meeting, but we still have a quorum. Rob McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
thank you. Al Shecker,
Aye.
Vice Chair John Flegel, excuse me,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item VII.B, request from Reliance Electric for reconsider denial letter for retroactive approval of courses taught. Andy?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Andy Bolton, Senior Policy Advisor with the division. There's some additional detail in a letter from Reliance Electric in your board packet. They applied, and the CE Committee did not recommend approval at the board's May meeting. Reliance's application for the same courses were recommended for approval in the set of applications that were just approved by the board. So they have now been approved. This letter is requesting a retroactive approval of credit given to attendees of a course that was taught in the interim. It was scheduled before they were denied and then taught before this approval. So they're requesting a retroactive approval of credit for those attendees. And this will require a motion.
The courses were then approved?
Yes, the courses were approved in the list of approvals or recommendations from the CE Committee that the board just voted on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this does require a motion.
Through the chair, motion to approve the request received from Reliance Electric for retroactive approval of courses taught.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Amy Byer,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Rob McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
Al Shucker,
Aye.
Vice Chair John Flegel,
Aye.
Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item VII.C, request from AE Tech Electrical Training Center for correction of an error and for approval of retroactive courses taught. Andy?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Andy Bolton, Senior Policy Advisor with the division. Similar to the last item, this is there's additional detail in the letter from AE Tech Electrical Training Center in your board packet. This also relates to a few courses by this provider that were recommended for approval by the CE Committee this time around. And it's the provider had already applied for and been approved for the courses previously, but when they applied originally, the provider applied for code-related credit when the courses were intended to be code change courses. The provider has reapplied, and the committee has recommended changing the credit from code-related to code change. The provider is now requesting that the board approve a retroactive change to the credit that was awarded to license holders that already took that course or these courses when it was approved for code-related credit. This item will require a motion.
I move to approve the request received from ATEC Electrical Training Center for correction of an error and for retroactive approval of courses taught.
Is there any discussion? Okay, Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Amy Byer,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Rob McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
Al Shucker,
Aye.
Vice Chair John Flegel,
Aye.
Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item 8 is announcements, and it's that hybrid meetings will continue at the Building Codes Divisions, some members in person and some connected virtually through Zoom. Any other announcements we need to make? Okay, there's, I guess, item 9 is adjournment. I guess I will adjourn the meeting at 10:02, September 22nd, 2022. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.